so aware of him, and he didn't want, and we didn't want to be discovered by him, because we just had small a carbine rifle with us, and we couldn't put up any defense at all. And they could have wiped us out if they wanted to, because they had good rifles. Well, anyway, we finally just got rid of them, and we got back to camp, and about 4 or 5 hours later, a whole infantry outfit moved right up there into that outfit to see if they could catch up with them guys.
Yeah.
I don't know whatever happened.
That was a lucky close call.
Yeah, that was a very close call.
Was that near Epinal, or where did where was that?
That is, we were, I think it was St. Di at that time.
And the shrine was near?
And Strasbourg was just across the river, and it was probably about 40 miles at the most.
Right. Where do you think the shrine was?
Oh, the shrine was just a little above the town.
Of St.
Yeah,
Di?
it was a shrine that was put up by some religious people.
Yeah.
They had a couple statues out in a wooded area that sort of looked around and looked as though it was a sort of a place of worship.
Do you remember what the shrine was, though?
Well, it was just a statue. Yeah,
okay.
Sure.
Yep, okay.
But anyway, we got up there, and just at that time, why the Germans decided they were going to try to cut off the troops coming in on the western shore, and so they made a drive through France there, and then we moved over trying to support our guys that were training there. And
that wouldn't be considered the Battle of the Bulge yet.
yes, it is the battle.
It was the Battle of the Bulge?
It was the start of the Battle of the Bulge. Oh.
Did you ever make it into Bastogne?
Bastogne?
Yes.
Bastogne.
Because that's where, like, I think the 102nd...
Oh, that's where they were killed, all them soldiers.
Mm-hmm.
I think we were within 4 or 5 miles of it at one time.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And I remember it was pointed out to us. Anyway, we were with an artillery outfit at that time. We moved out towards, just about that time I got tired of putting everything in front of me. But anyway, we moved from France, and we moved up to a place called Mannheim on the Rhine River. And at that time, the Germans held the Rhone River, and I remember we were looking down on it, and this beautiful river valley, just like the Mississippi here. And they had a town by the name of Saarbrücken, which was occupied by the Germans. And we were trying to make an attempt to get to the Rhine to see if we could get across it. And I remember we went through this town of Saarbrücken. It was a town about probably 70,000, 80,000 people, I guess. And the people there, thinking that they were French, although they had been converted to German, they had been taken over by Germany, and they thought that they could move into an arena and be safe. But it ended up that our troops, when they got there, they met resistance, and the first thing they did was throw all artillery at that arena. And I don't know how many men were in there, how many people were killed. But my estimate, there must have been about 30 or 40,000 people who were killed.
Oh my goodness.
And when we came in there, I tell you, the stink was horrible. It was unbelievable. Anyway, we just moved through town, and we went up to a town called Mannheim, which was on the Rhine River.
Say, how are you doing?
We're making it in about 5 minutes.
Yeah, about 5 or 10 minutes.
Oh, you want an egg salad sandwich or something?
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's fix one of those.
Okay. Do you want to take a break or want to finish up?
I'll get through it.
Okay. All right.
We got through, and we got a break, and we got a chance to get to Paris. There's 3 guys and I who went to Paris.
You guys?
What's that?
V8 juice?
Do you want
I'll have some later, Louis. Not now. Later.
a little bit later? Okay.
But anyway, we decided to go to Paris.
Oh.
And you could almost go anywhere you wanted. All you have to do is get on the highway, and first thing you were there. But anyway, we made it to Paris, and I picked up these postcards in Paris.
That's why we had.
The Arc de Triomphe and,
Yeah,
yep.
and we saw all
What
this.
is that? What's that a picture of?
That's the Sacred Heart Cathedral.
Okay.
And we saw all these things, and we were there about probably 2 days, and a notice came out, all troops have to go back to their units because of the start of the Battle of the Bulge, and they wanted everybody to. So
To be back.
anyway, we went back, we rejoined our unit, and we started to go where the Battle of Bulge was. And we turned that around, and then we were able to get into Germany. One of the first towns we went into,
Yeah, I got one here.
I think, was Mannheim. And then we continued on, went to Dachau. And we got to Dachau about the second day after it had been released. And we went in the back entrance, which was a railroad line going into the camp. And when we went there, there was about 15 railroad cars that were full of dead people. And they had other people, German prisoners, unloading these people and stacking them on the ground. And they had stacks of people, probably about 4 or 5 feet high, running for about probably 30, 40 yards. I don't know how many people were there, but you can imagine what the stink is. And anyway, we stayed there for about 2 days, and then we headed towards southern France, southern Germany. We went down to Munich, or below Munich, and then we went down to New Ulm.
New Ulm, okay. New
Or
Ulm.
Ulm. Yeah. And when we got down there, well, it was getting towards the end of the war. And
And this was under Patton at this point, right? Possibly?
I think we were under Patton. But you know, they were changing generals all the time. It seems to me at that time, Patton's army was moving westward, and he was trying to, and the Germans were trying to cut off the ports.
Yeah, but I think I remember hearing something about Patton wanted to go to Berlin, but they made him go further south.
Right, yes.
Right.
But anyway, they captured a heck of a lot of German soldiers that were trapped. Anyway, just about that time, the war ended.
Where were you?
We were.
This was in May,
We were
right?
in Ulm, Germany, which is New Ulm was named after that.
Okay.
And this is a type of vehicle. And one day we were just by a field, and this German ambulance plane came in, and it flew in from Russia territory. And this was 2 days after the end of the war. They flew in. They were trying to get away from the Russians. But I remember they landed and we captured them. And they surrendered to us.
How was it when they announced the surrender of Germany?
Well, everybody was happy. I'll tell you what our captain did. He went into a town we were in, went into a liquor store, and took enough liquor for 2 bottles for every soldier. And he says, "We're going to award you guys, here's every one of you gets 2 bottles."
All right.
So that was a happy night.
Yeah.
But we were, well, this is part of Dachau that we saw. And at the time when we moved in there, the prisoners who were being held by the Germans are still there. And most of them probably weighed about 80, 90 pounds. And they'd come along and say they'd be begging for food, and we were told not to,
Had to give them.
because they couldn't absorb it.
And was there something about the townspeople being asked to come back to the
yes,
camp?
yes.
And to
In
help
fact,
with everything?
The people that lived in Munich, which is only about 10 miles away, they didn't believe it,
Right.
that there was a canteen down there. So some companies would send in trucks, force people to go into the truck, and then haul them down there and force them to go through to make sure that they'd know that it was there. And this is the way the camp looked. I mean, we had a patrol so that the prisoners wouldn't escape. And this is the type of gas chamber that they were using a lot.
Okay, I'm going to take a picture of that.
And I think this is me.
Oh, really? Is that a picture of you?
Yeah, just about that time.
Okay.
And I remember when we moved into Camp Dachau, the main house for the commander of the camp was empty, so we moved into it.
No kidding.
Yeah. Showed we had a lot of power.
Yeah.
But anyway, then the war ended.
Is this
and
the Stars and
That's the
Stripes?
Stars and Stripes for.
No kidding.
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Oh, let me see if you can hold that up and let's see if we can get it. Oh yeah, that looks great. Oh my gosh. And what's the date on that?
This
Must
is-
be,
This is.
is it?
Oh, this is August
Aug-
15th.
Oh, this is the
19
actual,
Yeah.
the end of World War II.
Uh-huh. Well, this is when Japan surrendered.
Japan
Right.
surrendered, yeah.
Right.
Were you ever thought that you might have to leave and go to the Pacific?
I tell you, when the war was ending, that's all we talked about.
Really?
The fact that everybody was given points for the action they had seen and how long they were there. And I had 97 points. And the average guy probably had about 30 or 32. And the rumor was that if you didn't have enough points, you were going to be shipped directly to Japan.
Yeah.
Because they knew that they were going to invade and it was going to take a heck of a lot of soldiers to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So the big fear was if you didn't have enough points, you were going to
You were
end up
going.
in Japan. And very often they said, even if you had enough points, if you were down at the point of embarkation and the ship was going there, you were on it.
You were on it.
And that's the thing we always feared. But anyway, towards the end of,
You went skiing?
actually what happened, we were down in southern Germany.
Is it Darmstadt?
Yeah, I think it was.
Darmstadt,
Yeah,
maybe?
right.
Near Frankfurt
I-
or something?
yeah.
I don't know. Something
But
like that?
anyway,
Switzerland.
we heard that if you went into Switzerland, you could go, they had resorts there and you could stay at a resort. And we had unlimited money because any one place we wanted, we could pick up money. So we had about 10 guys. We asked our captain if we'd go over to Switzerland because it was only a matter of about 10 miles.
Yeah.
We went over there, and the Switzerland, the people, they had some people at the border, but they didn't know what to do. So we told them that we're going in.
Yeah.
And they said, we can't stop you.
Yeah.
And anyway, we went into Switzerland about 10 to 15 miles, and we went to a mountaintop, and we checked into a resort, and we decided to go skiing. I took these pictures. We were skiing there, and
Oh my gosh.
we stayed there only about probably 4 or 5 hours, and we got an order from a general saying that you've got to get out of the country. You have no right to be here.
Oh.
And I tell you, we highballed out of it and went back to Germany. And at that time, you couldn't talk to a German civilian.
Really?
That was against our regulations, and you weren't supposed to have any communication with them
Yeah.
at all. But anyway, we moved into town, and we took over a house, and the people upstairs, we allowed them to stay there because it is their home. And first thing you know, people were starting talking, and
Yeah.
everybody was accused. And I remember this one woman, she lived upstairs. She was very friendly. And
And what town is that? Does it say?
oh, jeez. Innsbruck.
Oh, Innsbruck.
Yeah.
Austria.
Uh-huh. And this was taken, you can go up to top of the hill there and see the town, and it's really quite interesting. And this is another girl that we ran into. But anyway,
Did you speak German at all?
oh, I could speak a little bit. I could understand them.
Yeah.
But actually, most of the German people spoke English, so
English.
you didn't have any problem.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, we started to roam around. And about the second day, we heard about a golf course that was close to a rail station, that was close to Frankfurt, Germany.
Mm-hmm.
And at that time, we were about probably 10, 15 miles away. And I had this buddy from Texas. We talked about golf quite a bit. And he says, let's go over there and see what it's like. Well, anyway, the golf course is located fairly close to a railroad station that we had bombarded the heck out of. And we got out there, and the clubhouse had been blown up. And we looked around, and we found a set of clubs. And we even found some golf balls. And so we said, hey, let's go out and play a couple holes just to see what it's like. And we went out there and the bomb craters covered about half the fairway. But I remember we played about 3 or 4 holes. And this is a picture taken at that golf course.
Oh, here, why don't you set that down? I'll just take a quick picture. Okay.
And that was only about 2 days after the end of the war.
Yeah.
And we were out there playing golf.
That's great.
It was unbelievable. And I'm trying to think of the guy's name. I think his name, no, it just doesn't make any difference. But anyway, we got there and then we sat around for quite a while and we moved to around Frankfurt. And
Did you ever make it to Hitler's beer garden?
in Munich, yes, we did.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when you were, I wrote from our previous time doing this, and when you were at Dachau, Eisenhower made a tour, right? He
Yes,
came
that's
by?
right. Yeah,
okay.
he came through, and he was one of the first generals, I think, that came through. And so we saw him there and
Yep.
had to salute him.
Yep.
And but anyway, we sat around her for a while, and the big discussion is how many points do you have, and
Oh yeah.
are you going to make it? And we were all waiting for transport back to the southern France so we could get on board ship.
Because that's where you would
That we
go
figured
from
that's
Marseille.
where we'd be going from.
Yep.
Anyway, we got down to one day they decided you get loaded on a freight train, a boxcar,
Yeah.
and we took it down to Marseille. And it took about probably 3-4 days to get there. And these pictures were taken when we got to Marseille. This is on the way. This is my buddy from, he came from Boston. Anyway, we finally got it down there, and we were waiting for transportation back to the United States. And we finally got on board ship one day, and it is a new Liberty ship.
Oh, Liberty ship? Yes. Yeah, I've seen.
It
Yeah.
just come over there, and we got on, and I tell you, it was jam-packed with, I don't know how many troops, but the whole thing was jam-packed. I know, in the holes we were sleeping probably 3 or 4 feet apart, and it'd be about 6 high. And anyway, you'd sooner spend the time out on the deck than you would. And I remember some of these guys. This here fellow by the name of Eckersley, he came from Rhode Island. Really, really a joker. But we finally got back to the United States, and we were welcomed into Camp Patrick Henry.
Camp Pat. Oh, but from
It's
is that in Wisconsin?
Newport News. No.
Oh.
No, that's right on Newport News, I think it is, where we came in on.
Newport News. Oh, okay, on the East Coast,
Yeah,
Virginia,
and,
something like that.
We had a march into the camp, and somebody took these photos of us marching in camp. We got in the camp, and we were camping in this place, and they were addressing the places that we've been, all these guys together. I recall a lot of these guys. This guy, Georgia Kid Hall. I was with him all the time. And he came from Georgia, Okefenokee, Georgia.
Yeah.
And this here fellow came from Michigan, Detroit, Michigan. I remember now. He was a sergeant.
I think there's enough onion. I finished.
But anyway,
It seemed like it. Does he have any trouble up there?
we got some pictures of the last guys I saw. And
I think we'll just have that.
we moved on.
I think that takes them out, I guess.
These are all pictures taken. I remember this guy very well.
So what
His
is he
name
doing
was
up
Well, he got up there, we got
Riza, I believe.
Oh, yeah, that was
And he lived
Thursday that,
just above St. Cloud.
Should we make it on toast or bread?
We were together all the time.
Whatever you guys
So we
Well, I did bread.
weren't exactly
Just plain
buddies,
bread.
but we spent a lot of time together.
And we'll make
And
a
it
white
just so
one,
happened when we got to Camp
dark
McCoy,
one, and cut 'em in two.
he was with me, and
See
my
how it
folks
all-
came down to pick me up.
Yeah.
And my dad had my brother Raymond and his wife along with him. And my dad had an old Packard at that time.
Uh-huh.
And
There you go.
when I introduced him to this here fellow from St. Cloud, my dad said, "Are you going home too?" He says, "Well, if I can get home, I'm going home." And so my dad invited him to come along with
Oh,
us.
how that great.
Yeah, so we had 6 in the car.
It is tight,
And it
yeah.
was still about probably 150, 170 miles home.
Oh, look at the, a foreign currency.
Yeah, this is the type of currency that we got with all through France. And
So how were you paid? Were you paid in,
actually, we weren't paid much. Paid in cigarettes, man.
really?
No, really at the time, I think I was collecting about $35 a month. And I remember I had probably about $30 of it going into a fund. So I was building a fund so that when we got out, I'd have some money.
Yep.
And
That
other times,
and
we'd
pickles
get,
and-
if you were in a combat zone, they gave you a cigarette pack a day. I didn't smoke,
Oh, you never smoked?
so they were worth sometimes $3 or $4.
Oh, my,
And sometimes you take them into town, you get $20.
oh my goodness.
And so actually, the cigarettes were the currency. You didn't have to have any money.
Okay, yeah.
And
And did you make any money playing poker?
oh yes, most guys
I'll tell you what, we
Most
can
guys,
do
they
is,
didn't have the chance to play poker as much as I did, so they didn't really realize what the game was. And if you're a little better than them, you can always sweep them out.
Yeah.
Because you know the game a little better than they do.
What was your
and put
rank?
some pickles and-
My rank, I'm a PFC. And I told my company commander, I says, I don't want to be anything because I don't want to instruct somebody what to do that's going to kill them. I said, I'll stay right where I am. He says, that's perfectly all right with us because we got too many guys that want to be a sergeant and they couldn't be a sergeant anyway. So he says, you can stay as you are. And I says, that's just the way I want it.
Like it, yeah.
Yeah, let's have a little.
I'm not going to order anybody to their death.
I'll cut that up in here.
Was that Africa? Was that an African?
Well,
It looks like African. Bank to
Well,
Algiers.
Algiers, yeah.
Algiers,
Mhm.
yeah.
it was in use in Morocco
Okay.
and it's used in Algeria. But anyway, we could get unlimited supplies of this because if you had a cigarette, well, you could get any
get a
number of
lot, yeah.
supply you wanted.
One of the things that Lawrence showed me was he had a couple souvenirs.
Mhm.
He actually has a Nazi flag.
Oh, yeah, well, at that time, I think I even possessed one, but
Yeah.
somebody offered me some money for it, so I sold it because they were around all over
Oh,
because
yeah.
the Nazis, they
Yeah,
just
they had
liked
plenty
them.
of flags.
Oh yes, they had plenty of flags.
Yeah.
In fact, I think the whole French country, they decided to start producing German flags.
Yeah.
But this is the type of various currency we had.
Did you bring any any souvenirs home?
You know, at one time, I had a German rifle I carried with me for some time, and then some guy offered me some money for it, and I said, here, it's yours. I said, I'm tired of carrying this
Carrying
thing.
it, yeah.
I didn't want it.
Yeah.
This is one thing I carried with me all the time.
Oh,
Because
you golf
I played golf for South High.
and the rules.
Yeah.
And you caddied over here at
Well, I lived
North
carried over Town and Country.
Town and Country too, yeah.
I'll tell you, here's a common thing you see. This type of currency that
Drink
put
milk or you want,
Hitler's name down there.
Oh, you're kidding. What do you guys want to drink?
Oh, I've got it right here. I've got this spring water for me.
I'll have milk, Lois. We'll be through here in 5 minutes.
Okay, here we go. Here's the French one.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna make let that get cold. And then, you know.
Is that enough cheese?
Yeah, just,
It's well placed.
fill it up.
But
There.
Oh, look,
Oh,
you do have.
I got a
you do.
letter.
I got a center thing.
I tell you, it's interesting reading that letter.
Who's that from?
I sent that
Oh.
letter
You want
my
mozzarella
mother.
cheese? There's mozzarella.
the day before
If you
we
do, I don't need it.
I left France. And I told her what was going to
Not
happen.
much taste to it. Okay.
Okay. Oh, I'll take a picture of
Why
that.
don't you read that? It's quite interesting.
Oh,
think.
should I read it now?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, let me get the, so this is what is that?
Well, that's
This
a division patch for the 45th Division.
looks like Army Corps of Engineers almost, but it's
well,
not,
yeah,
is it?
I think it was 45th. And this is a German patch.
It's about time. 14
Well,
days, yeah.
it sort of gives you an
Oh, I like
idea of
your
how I
idea.
felt at that time.
Oh my gosh, a pair of pants, yes. Really? And the Dust Bowl listening to the reason why we can't get a ship. So they've been cussing everybody that's holding up the ships for their what,
Oh, at that time there was a strike going on.
striking, with the French, right? Yeah? The War Department for a while, it would be the French that would be striking, right?
No, I think it is an American dock workers.
Oh, you're kidding?
Yes, it was. Mhm.
Oh my goodness.
They
We
figured
would receive a chow hound and a guy ready to sleep on a soft bed.
well, I thought it was a pretty good letter.
That is a
myself.
pretty good letter. All right. That looks like it might be
I
the
think
end of the
That's the end
end
of
of
the
the
story.
scrapbook. Yeah. Oh, well,
It's
thank
all
you.
scrap.
Yeah. Oh, that was great.
Oh,
Well,
I'll have to
hopefully
show-
this worked.
show you a couple things here.
Oh, okay. A couple more things.
How
Nice to
successful
your
I made it when
Yeah, sure.
once I got out. And one
Oh.
time I went back to work for Sears. I remember I got home.
That's the Google thing, right there. Or you'll find Google.
I
from
got
there.
home and
Oh,
I was
look
going
at
to
that.
I was going to play golf the next day,
Uh huh.
and it started to rain, and it rained for 3 days.
Oh no.
And I had, previous to that, I'd worked for Sears for probably 2.5 years or so, so I had a little seniority. One day I went back, and very luckily the personnel manager was a fellow I knew quite well. And he says, we'll see if we can take care of you. So he gave me a fairly decent job. And about the first, I think it was within the first year, I was on a committee that was volunteering for something. And this is myself, and this is a good buddy of mine, the guy I played golf with for probably 30 years.
Wow.
He was general manager. So I made connections with the right guy.
Yeah, you did.
But anyway, all these guys, and I could name them all.
Oh yeah.
But they were.
But it was at one of these parties that you met Lou.
Yeah, yeah. Well, actually, after I got back and went to work, I was a supervisor on 3rd floor, and there was a fellow by the name of Joe Stewart who was a supervisor there too. And he says, we're organizing a Christmas party. And I had been there about probably 8 or 9 days. And he says, well, why don't you come? I said, well, I'll show up. And I got there, and it was a Christmas party out at
Boulevard.
the Boulevard.
The Boulevard? The restaurant, the Boulevard?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's located on Highway 100 and Highway 12.
Oh yes, that was there
Yeah.
forever, wasn't
Right
it?
next to the White House.
Oh, the one.
And
Yeah.
I went there, and Lois was with her boss,
Uh-huh.
who was a gentleman about probably 60 years old at the time. She had gone with him to the place. Well, anyway, he was sort of a drinker, and they were sitting at a table having drinks, and I came over there and introduced myself, and we got to know each other. And in about 2 days, I called her up for a date, and I picked her up with a streetcar,
Yeah.
and we went downtown to the Pantages Theater, and we saw I'll Meet You in St. Louis.
Oh yeah, great movie.
So that's how I got to call her Louis. But anyway, after
that's too
that,
funny.
she decided to learn how to play golf, so I put up with her until she learned how to play golf. And then I married her.
That's great.
Yeah, but
Is that true?
Yeah, that's true.
It's true.
That's true. Okay, we'll just have a,
I think we're through, Louis.
okay,
Yeah, we're good. So you're making egg salad?
egg salad, yeah.
Which
Oh, that sounds good.
I think we-
Okay. All right. End of the scrapbook story.
End of the scrapbook.
Okay. And it's actually still recording, which is really great. And I'm